We do have breaking news in the San Gabriel Valley this morning. Police say there was a crash involving several cars, and it has a dramatic twist to this story.
Yeah, let's let Mario explain what happened here. He's live in Covina. Mario.
Yeah, dramatic twist and a dramatic ending. We've learned that this stems from a domestic dispute, husband and wife involved in a high-speed chase, and that's what triggered this crash here behind me. You can see the mangled vehicles, 5 involved, and we just watched moments ago as that suspect was taken into custody about 2 hours after the crash. He was actually hiding behind some of these nearby homes. Ben Gallegos, hey, come in here, Ben. You actually waved us down as we were standing by for this live shot. Police, They quickly ran over, caught the guy in the back of your home. Walk me through what happened there.
Yeah, so this morning about 5:49 the accident occurred, and on my cameras I saw my wife notified me that he had run through our yard. So I got the video and I went to the officers, but they said they already knew what he looked like. So a couple hours later, I'm just in my bedroom right now, and I hear something on the side of the house. So I checked my video cameras again, and I had already known what he looked like. So I saw that he was right there in my yard. He was still on the loose. So I ran and I yelled to you. So thanks for your assistance, and then you flagged down the officers, and then they got him. So
yeah, and I can tell your heart rate is still going.
I was
gotta be scary.
It was not scary, but it was exciting, I guess, in a bad way.
Well, yeah. Thanks for helping out.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. So it's just been crazy. If you're looking at the video here from Skyfox, you can see all the damage from up above. And we talked to a witness here, another nearby resident who actually ran by after this all happened, just before 6 o'clock here at Hollenbeck and Cypress. And one woman, the woman who was reportedly being chased by her husband in a separate vehicle, was trapped in the wreckage. And listen to what this resident says as he rushed in to help.
The car that was flipped over, somebody kept on yelling help. So everybody was able to helped her out, and we're trying to get that door open. We couldn't. Finally, some other lady jumped in through the back seat and kind of guided her out through the back seat, and we were able to get her out that way. But she was just screaming the whole time that her husband was trying to kill her, and that he was after her. He was chasing her in another car. I think it was a black Mercedes. I'm not sure.
What was her condition like when you were helping her out?
Oh, she was pretty bad. We couldn't get her out. It took us a long time. Then the firemen came in. I think they removed that one door on the other side and got her out that way.
And as he mentioned, it was, in fact, that black Mercedes that the suspect was driving as he was chasing his wife, according to police. And to add another layer to the story, we just spoke with the son and daughter of that married couple. They've actually been married 30 years. I asked them if they've had any issues like this before, any big blowouts or fights. They were just as surprised as many of the people were here at this crash site to find out what happened. So, very bizarre story. The suspect... This horrific crash here. For now, live in Covina. We'll send it back to you.
Wow, that is certainly an unusual situation. I also, you're concerned about the innocent drivers there who got caught up in all of this.
Yeah. I wonder how old the kids are, too.
Well, if they've been married for 30 years, maybe a little bit older, that they were able to speak to Mario.
Oh, and Mario jumping in to help to get police to apprehend that suspect hiding in the backyard of someone's home.
I think the word that man was looking for was adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
That's exactly what was going on there. All right, thank you so much, Mario. Happening today, LA Unified school teachers could take a major step towards a possible walkout.
Gigi Gracia live at the Teachers Union headquarters with more on the big announcement that's expected this afternoon. Gigi.
That's right, Sandra and Iraq said there will be a big rally at 4:30 this afternoon in Grand Park in downtown Los Angeles, where 3 unions will come together and possibly make an announcement that at least teachers are ready to walk off the job along with SEIU Local 99 members. Take a look. 94% of the membership, UTLA says, has approved a strike, and the same with SEIU Local 99. There's been no official confirmation from both unions, but according to the LA Times, they are expected to make an announcement of a strike date later this afternoon at the Fight for LA labor rally involving 3 groups, again in downtown Los Angeles. It is expected to bring together teachers, students, parents, and school employees. Now, rally organizers include 3 major employee unions. We're talking about the Teachers Union, UTLA, SEIU Local 99, which represents more than 30,000 employees, including teacher aides, custodians, and cafeteria workers, to name just a few, and the Associated Administrators of Los Angeles. They represent about 3,000 employees, including school principals and managers. All three groups say they're locked in stalled contract negotiations with LA Unified. And while they could announce that strike date today, that of course doesn't mean they're actually going to walk off the job. We spoke to labor strategist Stephanie Alston, who says just the announcement of a strike date would send a very strong signal to the school board.
I think at the end of the day, the union does want to be able to negotiate with the school board, but they want to let you know that, hey, if we have to strike, we have no problem doing so.
How important is a strike announcement when you're negotiating a new contract?
I think it lets you know that the time is running out and we're willing to do whatever we need to do in order to support workers. I think it is a great negotiation strategy.
Now, in response to the last district proposal, UTLA's president said in part LAUSD's latest salary proposal is not enough to fix broken salary schedules. It's not enough to attract educators to LAUSD, and it's nowhere near enough to address the financial struggles educators are facing. Now, just a short while ago, I spoke to an SEIU Local 99 member. She's a special ed assistant at Hamilton High School. She spoke to me about what employee morale is like at LA Unified right now, given everything that is going on. We'll hear from her coming up on Good Day LA later. Meanwhile, again, that rally scheduled for 4:30 this afternoon at Grand Park in downtown Los Angeles. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Gigi, we'll see what happens there. Thank you. Now to the latest on the war with Iran. We are now in day 19 of this deadly conflict. And breaking news this hour, Iran state media television is confirming that intelligence minister Ismail Khatib was killed in a strike on Tuesday. He is the latest top Iranian officially to be taken out this week. We've also seen Iran's top security chief and a leader of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard killed as well.
Meanwhile, Israeli attacks intensifying all across Iran and Lebanon. One airstrike flattening this apartment building right there. This is central Beirut. The Israeli army saying Hezbollah has storing millions of dollars there to finance its activities.
Meanwhile, President Trump has dropped his push for U.S. allies to help protect the Strait of Hormuz from Iranian threats. That about-face comes just a day after Trump called on other nations to get involved. Yesterday, the U.S. military dropped bombs on Iranian missile sites along the coastline. Doug Luzader has more from Washington.
Facing rising pressure over energy costs, President Trump continues to say this war with Iran will not last long, even as Iran continues to launch counterattacks. Iran fighting back. An apartment building hit by a missile outside of Tel Aviv. An elderly couple killed.
The roof caved in on top of an elderly couple that were inside of their apartment.
That followed Israeli strikes that took out two key Iranian leaders, including Ali Larijani, believed to be running the country since the death of the supreme leader.
This is the most significant leadership impact of the war since the Ayatollah was killed on day one of the war. It is a huge deal here.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake.
And President Trump, meantime, angry that NATO isn't doing more to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
This was a great test because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
The strait has become a choke point for oil shipments, causing gas prices to keep rising here at home. But the president promised it won't last much longer, that prices will, in his words, drop like a rock.
It's moving along fast. We're way ahead of schedule. Did you know that, Mr. Speaker? I'm trying to save a lot of money.
Democrats aren't buying it.
It seems like they're always a few hours away from hanging the next mission accomplished sign around here, and we continue to suffer, and now we're going to be stuck with the bill.
And the head of the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center abruptly resigned yesterday, saying Iran did not present an imminent threat to the U.S. The White House says that's not true. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
8:12 still to come. Cesar Chavez Day celebrations being canceled. All across the country, we'll have more on the disturbing new allegations against the late civil rights activist.
And a wild end to a pursuit in Hollywood. We'll show you how this one finally played out. But first, Stu with a check on the morning commute.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Skyvox traffic brought to us by My Home Sold. Take a look at that 405 drive. Yeah, it's tough, this for sure. Encino's where we're at. You're hitting the brakes about Sherman Way, heading southbound this morning. Give yourself extra time. No crash, thank goodness for that, but that's Sepulveda Pass. Extra slow for some reason. It does open up by the time you get to the bottom of the hill on the west side. That'll be right around Sunset Boulevard. Northbound, though, wide open and moving well. We're going to check out some traffic hotspots. Let's do that.
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez with MyHomeSold.com, and we want to buy your house cash. We'll give you a cash offer for your house today. Sell your house the easy way with no commissions, no fees, no repairs. For free, no obligation cash offer. Go to MyHomeSold.com.
Welcome back. Topping your headlines is this dangerous heat wave. We're right in the middle of the hottest stretch with most of Southern California under an extreme heat warning. We saw several areas break records yesterday, topping 100 degrees. Remember, we won't see temperatures dip back into the 80s until Sunday, so we're a long way off from any real relief. So these temperatures do carry a high risk of illness. In fact, heat is the leading cause of weather-related deaths, so please make sure to take precautions and take care of yourself. A pursuit ends with the suspect slamming into a building in South Los Angeles, and police say this started at around 10 o'clock last night after LAPD Hollywood Division officers responded to a possible assault with a deadly weapon. You can see that driver climbing on top of a wrecked pickup truck, letting out a scream before climbing down. Officers quickly took him into custody. The United Farm Workers Union is pulling back from Cesar Chavez events after abuse allegations surfaced against the late civil rights icon. Chavez died in 1993, and he was a labor organizer and civil rights leader who co-founded the UFW in the early 1960s. The Cesar Chavez Foundation says it recently became aware of allegations that he engaged in inappropriate sexual behavior with women and minors while president of UFW. In a statement, the union said allegations that very young women or girls may have been victimized are crushing. In light of the allegations, some Chavez Day marches in other cities have been canceled as well. But one planned this Sunday in Los Angeles is still scheduled and is going on. The organizer spoke to Fox 11 last night.
The allegations being made have to be at least 60 years old, maybe 70. For the people here, we are dealing with real issues affecting the community. At least for the march we're having on the 22nd, we're asking for amnesty now.
The UFW says it doesn't have any firsthand knowledge of the allegations, but says it is working to set up a confidential channel for any victims to come forward. A meteor caught on camera in multiple states yesterday. The American Meteor Society received reports from Wisconsin to Maryland. NASA later confirming the 6-foot, 7-ton asteroid first appeared above Lake Erie. 7 tons is roughly 14,000 pounds, a little more than the weight of a large pickup truck. NASA says the fireball blazed southeast, going at least 40,000 miles per hour before exploding and fragmenting all over Valley City, Ohio. The boom shook homes in Cleveland, but most of it burned up before hitting the ground. Wow, Maria, that is crazy. If you saw that coming your way.
That was incredible. Actually, we talked about this a little bit yesterday morning, and I pointed out where exactly in Northeast Ohio that meteor streaked through early yesterday morning, and it was quite a sight to see. I did see some videos, and even the National Weather Service picked it up on some of the satellite and radar images that they had. So that's how clear it was yesterday. Amazing. It was, I couldn't believe it, actually. I'm like, what is happening? A meteor, we've got the heat wave here in the Southwest, and yeah, whoa, crazy stuff, definitely. For us, it is crazy heat. That's what we're looking at, and some more record temperatures yesterday. Woodland Hills, 101 degrees. That was a record high. Anaheim, 100. Long Beach set a record of 99 degrees. Downtown LA, 98, and even at LAX, closer to the coast even, that was a record high of 92. These are just a few of the many, many, many cities that broke record high temperatures yesterday. In fact, Long Beach's 99 was an all-time record high temperature for the whole month of March, which was 98 at the time, set back in 1988. So more of that expected today as high pressure continues to dominate our weather. It's keeping that storm track well to our north, up and over to the Pacific Northwest. It's still going to be producing the clear skies, the sunshine, and 20 to 30 degrees above normal highs today, even 35 in some areas. So heat alerts, of course, in place, and we're not going to see too much movement from this ridge of high pressure until Sunday. That's when we expect the temperatures to drop slightly as that high kind of slides south and southeast, enough to where we'll get a little tiny bit of a sea breeze, and that'll help those temperatures tumble a few degrees back down to the 80s in many spots. In the meantime, today, 96 for downtown LA. Up and down the California coast, actually quite warm. 87 in Sacramento today. Look at Fresno and Bakersfield, 94, 95 degrees respectively. San Luis Obispo with that 87 degrees. Just a quick look at our day planner for Riverside here, getting up to 98 by 3 p.m. with a lot of sunshine. Anaheim, if you're headed to Disneyland, be prepared for the heat. Again, 93 later this afternoon. All right, stay with us because we'll be right back after this quick break.
Welcome back. 8:24 right now. Vinyl record sales keep spinning higher, thanks in large part to Taylor Swift. The Recording Industry Association of America says vinyl sales last year topped $1 billion for the first time in 40 years. And yes, Swifties played a big role. The singer's Life of a Showgirl album moved more than 1.5 million vinyl copies all on its own. Overall vinyl sales are up for the 19th year in a row. Van's Warped Tour is heading back to Long Beach, and now we know who's hitting the stage. Van's Warped Tour dropped its lineup for the two-day festival happening July 25th and 26th at the Shoreline Waterfront. Big names include Jimmy Eat World, All Time Low, Mayday Parade, and Gym Class Heroes, along with dozens of other punk, emo, and alternative bands. Tickets are now on sale, and organizers say more names could be added in the coming months. Internet users are praising a man who hasn't updated his closet in over 20 years. In a now viral post, a Reddit user shared this picture of her husband's closet alongside an explanation that he has been wearing the same clothes since 2005. Coincidentally, that was the same year the couple started dating. While some might think the idea of wearing the same clothes over 2 decades is unusual, a lot of people are hailing the man's sustainable approach to fashion, and people are also theorizing that he hasn't changed his wardrobe because 2005 was the best year of his life, since that is when he met his wife. Oh, all right. Well, we're continuing to track a record-breaking heat wave, so we will tell you when relief is on the way. And good news for basketball fans this morning. We'll tell you why the WNBA season may not be delayed after all.
How's it going?
It's Wednesday and you're wearing pink. Would you say pink coral salmon?
I feel as though it's a coral salmon.
It's blush pink.
It looks pink.
Okay. Every television set reads colors differently, so it really depends on
what color is this?
That is
tan.
Yeah,
Mustard
a camel.
tan.
That is a camel.
Yeah, like a camel. Oh, yeah.
Fancy word.
Look at us. And you, Maria, are you wearing a mauve today?
A mauve.
Like mauve-ish, eggplant-ish.
You're definitely wearing blue, Sandra.
Yeah, we didn't have to go. Sorry, Sandra. Yours is just definitely on the nose.
All right, so we're just seeing red today with the heat.
Oh, yeah, it's good
nice
segue.
Transition.
Though. Nice transition, sister.
I try to segue. So I wanted to give you guys some hacks, okay? You know, trying to stay cool.
These are good ones.
Do you like it? Yeah. Some of them are kind of like, should I do that? But refrigerating the lotion is one of my favorite things.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I actually put my eye patches in.
Oh, yeah.
I do
How
that
about
too.
like your sunscreen?
You know,
The
that
spray sunscreen,
that
would that
could
work?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
really
I could
cool.
add that to the list. But what people forget to do is actually check their ceiling fan, because you're supposed to change direction. You know that, right? So during this, if you want the cooling effect of that fan, then you want it to turn counterclockwise. So there's a little button that can adjust and change the direction of where your fan goes. So check that, and that can help you be like, oh my gosh, I can actually feel the wind of the fan. So that could be the problem. That's why you're not cooling off. Another good one is, of course, closing your blinds. That's kind of a no-brainer, but people forget that. That kind of just keeps that heat out of the house. And then this one, hanging a damp sheet by the window. That's one of the ones, like, if you are a college student, you're like staying in a one-room spot, that's actually kind of a good hack, because it kind of helps to cool the air temperature a little bit before that heat comes in through the window. Anywho, those are just some heat hacks that you might want to just jot down and try. Otherwise, extreme heat warnings are continuing to be in effect until Friday, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets expanded to Saturday. So I want you to know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. All right, with the symptoms, again, just going over the fact that there's no sweating, red hot, dry skin. You may faint. Call 911 for that person, because that can lead to heat stroke, and that can be fatal, versus heat exhaustion with some muscle cramping. That's a good telltale sign. So drink some cool water, keep them inside an air-conditioned room, and that will help to recover, right? Drink some Gatorade to replenish and hydrate. 96 is what we're expecting for downtown LA. That can break the old record. That was 87, as you can see here. Let's check in on traffic now before you walk out that door. Samada's back in studio with a look at that. Hey, Samada.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. We do have a brand new crash. We're going to bring your attention over to the Diamond Bar area. If this is where you're heading, you want to make sure you allow yourself extra time. Two vehicles collided here, taking away the fast lane, and you are going very slow through that stretch along that northbound side of the 57 at Pathfinder Road. It's also impacting the opposite direction as well, so just a heads up to make sure you take it nice and easy through that area. Here's a look at real-time traffic. And as expected, really heavy already, high volume leaving downtown, heading over to the Santa Monica area. Give yourself 54 minutes, 37 minutes northbound 110 from 405 coming inbound. And a live Caltrans camera look. This is going to be the 15. The northbound stretch is flowing. Meanwhile, the southbound side, it's a little heavy right there at Cherry due to a collision that is taking away a lane of traffic there as well. Back to you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Samada. A beloved baseball field in Ontario with deep Hollywood roots was destroyed by a fire 2 years ago, and it's still sitting in limbo.
That's right. So what's next for this field that means so much to so many? Well, Laura Diaz reports from Ontario City Hall.
The future of the Littleton baseball field was hotly debated tonight. The outcome? The future is still uncertain.
This has been a field that is a dream for kids to play on. They start off in Little League and they know that field is there. They know that someday they'll get to play on it.
They love it very much, and we really need it for all the Boy Scouts.
And it's important to people. We have over 1,822 signatures on a change.org petition to save the ballpark, and it seems as though the city's not really interested in that.
Well, lots of passionate voices at Ontario City Council Tuesday night. The Littleton Field was destroyed in a fire 2 years ago. Many locals, as you just heard, they want it preserved. This evening, this is what the field looks like, a shell of its former self. The field is located in Galvin Park, which also was home to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, as you heard people just express. So people packed the council chambers Tuesday night. They spoke of the park with great affection for its importance to the community. The public spoke for hours. They spoke with a lot of passion, the majority of people pleading with the council not to replace the park with a splash pad. The city has maintained restoring it could cost $100 million. They say fiscally it's just not possible. Littleton Ballpark was made famous when the popular film A League of Their Own was shot at the ballpark. It's a nostalgic favorite for sure for people in the community. But after lots of debate, I could say it in movie terms, it's still a cliffhanger. So here is how the meeting ended. After all of that testimony, let's hear what was said at the meeting at its conclusion.
So the motion on the table is to table the item.
I would second that.
Motion to table it for further review is passed.
The item will continue to be hotly debated. When exactly that will happen remains unknown. In Ontario, Laura Diaz, Fox 11 News.
Hey, this morning, the WNBA and the Players Union have reached a verbal deal on a new collective bargaining agreement. The WNBA commissioner announcing the agreement overnight after nearly a week of bargaining. The deal is expected to boost player salaries, but the details still need to be finalized in the weeks ahead. Good news, though, it seems the season will not be delayed after all and will start as scheduled on May 8th.
As prices at the pump continue to soar, some candidates for California governor want to cut gas prices by suspending the state's 61-cent gas tax. Democrats Matt Mahan and Anthony Vergosa, along with Republicans Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, they are supporting the idea. State Senator, though, Tony Strickland, has even proposed a bill to eliminate the tax entirely. Governor Newsom opposing these plans, saying they would help oil companies more than drivers. The debate continues as gas prices remain a hot issue for voters.
Another one of this year's biggest Oscar controversies was not a speech, a snub, or even a joke. It was the snack boxes. Every attendee had underneath their seat a snack box, as you see here, that included popcorn, chocolate-covered raisins, and a drink. There was also a note from the host, Conan O'Brien, that said, "Enjoy this moderately happy meal." And of course, many on the internet were offended by what they considered cheap. While some praised the practicality for the long event, others mocked the choices, comparing them to airplane snacks or even the infamous Fry Festival. The Raisinets in particular stirred debate online. The lighthearted gesture quickly became a viral moment, proving even small details can ignite big opinions. I thought the controversy was going to be the mess that all the stars left behind because of those snack boxes. Nobody took their trash to a trash bin.
100% agree with you there. That was a very disappointing sight to see. But regardless if it's the Oscars or your local AMC, when you leave, pick up your popcorn bag and your drink and just throw it out. There's trash cans right by the door.
That's right.
Where is that picture? We need to
show that picture.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I guess stars, they're just like us. Because you ever look in your local movie theater after a screening? It's
well, these millionaires, you know, you can't buy class.
You cannot. It's true.
That's right.
Money can buy you class.
Thank you.
Any Bravo fans out there? Good morning to you on this Wednesday. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. What is it like finding out that you've been cast in not only a hit HBO series, it seems like the hit HBO series, White Lotus? Well, here's Chloe Bennett finding out.
Calling to let Chloe know that she's officially approved and you're getting the offer on White Lotus.
I love that. So Chloe will be joining season 4, as well as Kumail Nanjiani and Max Greenfield from New Girl. They will also be joining the cast. They join Helena Bonham Carter, Chris Messina, and Marissa Long, whose castings were announced a couple months ago, back in January. I am so excited. You know I love The White Lotus.
Yes.
Now, while season 3, which was last season, was the most nominated of the White Lotus seasons, It was not my favorite.
Agreed.
Thank you.
I didn't even watch season 3.
Did you watch season 1?
I did. I saw 1 and 2.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's kind of, falling off for me, so.
Yeah, because first of all, our favorite character isn't involved.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Right.
I know.
So, also, I'm going to tell you, the theme song, I like the original.
I know.
Yes. Yes.
That one, yep.
So there's that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love White Lotus. I'm really hoping 4's going to be golden.
Okay, I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah. in Europe. Here we go. Let's go. So, all right, we'll stay tuned for more details with that coming up. But speaking of hot shows, no European location scout needed for this one. I'm talking about The Lincoln Lawyer. The LA-based show is already kicking off production for season 5.
Somebody else killed Sam. And to prove I'm innocent, we need to figure it out.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Well, season 4 was emotionally draining because he was on. He was on trial.
I'm in it. I'm just in episode 2.
Ooh, you got a ways to go.
I know.
Yeah, it came out last month on Netflix, and season 5 is going to debut mid-2027. 8 new faces have joined the cast, including Diane Guerrero from Orange is the New Black and Steve Howey from Shameless. He'll be joining as well. I love this show. I love that it's an LA show.
It's a fun show.
Yeah, it is a fun show. You want to stay with it to find out how it all ends. It's kind of like a whodunit in a lot of ways.
And you have to watch it from the start, right?
Yeah, that's a show that you want to watch from the start. It's chronological.
Yeah.
Okay. Each season kind of bleeds into the other. Neve Campbell playing his ex-wife. Yeah, she does look great. So I would recommend this show for you. Okay. I think you would like it.
On the list.
Here's this. It's like a CVS receipt.
Longer than Santa Claus's list.
What is longer, a CVS receipt
Or
list?
Sandra's much
Sandra's list.
What is the last show you have watched, my beloved Sandra?
Shogun.
Don't you dare. It's not Shogun.
Adolescence.
Adolescence.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that so last year or 2 years ago?
Kinda. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
I'll get on it.
All right. You guys have been getting on it today. Whoa. Well,
I don't know.
We're going to restart that. We're going to postpone it because we're going to see what you say in our poll question of the day.
It looked like 58%.
Yeah.
Something in the middle. What was
we asked, are you interested in LA 2028?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Let's check it again.
Look at the results.
Here we go. Bam. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Wow. It wasn't interested.
Whoa.
Wow. 58% saying not my thing.
It's because it's a little far away. I think when it gets closer to the time,
people
will be
can't
excited.
even make plans like this weekend.
I think Sandra's coffee mug, it's half full. Look at that.
All right. Well, we'll see. Okay, coming up, our next guests are helping us raise awareness around colorectal cancer.
Yes, that's right. One is a doctor, the other a colorectal cancer survivor. They'll stress the importance of course, getting screened early. Before all that, though, let's check on the roads with Samara.
Hello. Good Day LA Traffic is sponsored by the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie and calljacob.com. We have a brand new hotspot, unfortunately. This now just became a signal alert due to 4 vehicles that collided here on the southbound side of the 5 at Ortega Highway through the San Juan Capistrano area. You can see the red behind that crash, so make sure you give yourself extra time. Fire trucks are on scene. Emergency crews, of course, addressing that issue. Here's a look at a real-time traffic, just slightly under an hour. Your ride from downtown LA into Santa Monica, which is going to be a popular spot to escape the heat if you're heading out to our beach spots. Northbound 110 from the 405 inbound, 38 minutes. And here's a much better looking roadway. This can be the 210 eastbound, westbound side at Knox Avenue. Moving and rolling along nicely. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran.
Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
You're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
call Jacob.
Welcome back to Good Day LA. Today's hookup is going to get you pumped.
Get as loud as you can for Monster Jam!
That's right, as loud as you can for Monster Jam. Get ready for big-time excitement because Monster Jam is roaring into SoFi Stadium, and nothing compares to the one and only Monster Jam with awesome trucks, amazing stunts, and of course, action-packed excitement. It's the only place to see the legendary Gravedigger, Megalodon, El Toro Loco, and more. And today, Good Day LA wants to hook you up with 4 tickets and pit party passes to Monster Jam at SoFi Stadium on April 11th. You can enter for your chance to win on our website. It's quick and easy. Just go to foxla.com/contest or get your smartphone or tablet and scan that QR code right there on the screen. It'll take you right to the site. One winner will be selected tomorrow, which is Thursday. Good luck to our viewers. Now we're going to send it on over to Maria for a check on the forecast.
And thank you, Amanda. This weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. Here's a look outside. Doesn't that look so inviting? This is Manhattan Beach. We've got the water just nice and glassy. It's not too hot yet here at the coast, but even at the beach, it will be warm again today. We've got more record-breaking high temperatures possible today. This dangerous heat wave continues because of this area of high pressure that continues to dominate our weather, producing some really warm temperatures, 20 to 30 plus degrees above the average. That coupled with some warm temperatures staying during the overnight hours, we're really not getting much relief during the day. So we do have extreme heat warnings in effect, along with heat advisories for heat-related illnesses really increasing significantly during this extreme heat event. So we want to give you the precautions. You want to stay indoors, please, and in some air conditioning. And also, please remember to check in on the elderly, the kids, remind them to drink a lot of water if they're out and about, and of course, take care of our pets. If you're headed to the beach to get some relief, of course, the water temperature is really refreshing in the mid-60s. Temperatures on the sand 70 to 84 degrees, and those surf heights coming in at 2 to 4 feet. So moderate rip current risk in the water. And as we always advise, always swim or paddle out near a lifeguard. 84 along our coast today. We're going to hang on to that through the end of the week, and then we'll start to cool it down a little bit over the weekend into next week. It will feel better, but temperatures will still be warm and still above average. In fact, 96 to 98 tomorrow for downtown LA. Finally back down to the 80s on Sunday. 102 in the valleys and the Inland Empire. I know it's officially still winter on the books, but we will welcome spring officially on Friday with 81 degrees in the mountains, 79 today. The high desert areas also quite warm with lots of sunshine, 95 degrees there. And if you're going to be in the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs, 106 degrees today, warming up to 109 by Friday, first day of spring. Back to you.
New research has come out with some staggering numbers about colorectal cancer.
It is now the deadliest cancer for Americans under 50, and most people that age aren't even really thinking about it. The Journal of American Medical Association says colorectal cancer cases in people under 50 has risen nearly 60% since the early 2000s, and 3 in 4 patients under 50 are diagnosed only after the disease has already spread. That's why getting screened is crucial and could save lives, and that's why the recommended starting age for screenings were lowered from 50 to 45.
So getting screened before it's too late is the primary mission of Be Seen. Its founder began experiencing symptoms at 33 years old and was repeatedly told she was too young for cancer. She wasn't diagnosed until 39, by which point she had stage 3 colorectal cancer. Today, Maria Peters is cancer-free and wants to use her experience to help others. And she's here along with Dr. Fola May, a leading UCLA gastroenterologist who is part of Be Seen. Welcome.
Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
This is so important, and we really appreciate you being here. Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, right? This month. But also, we've been seeing and reading so much of it due to the deaths, sadly, of James Vanderbeek and Catherine O'Hara. Do you think this is helping people just kind of put it on their radar when you have cases like this, celebrities going through a struggle like this?
Yeah, undoubtedly, yes, is the answer. I think what frustrates me is I wish that we didn't have to lose people far too early to a disease that is preventable. But the conversation and the headlines and the work of the media to elevate stories like this is making an impact that ultimately saves lives.
Absolutely, and I would agree completely. I think this is the disease that no one really wants to talk about. It's your rectum, it's your butt, it's poop. So, you know, unfortunately, it goes unmentioned in many households and at many dinner tables, when often it's even running in families. So, unfortunately, it is the death of people that we know well that often brings it to people's attention.
And Marissa, your story is amazing because you felt like something was off, right? At 33 years old, you weren't diagnosed till 39?
That's true.
Wow. So tell us about your story and what happened.
You know, I think ultimately I had no idea about colorectal cancer until I was actually diagnosed. Through my treatment, I then learned about how preventable it is, about the importance of colonoscopies and other non-invasive tests that screen us into more urgent colonoscopies. But ultimately, knowing about the symptoms I was experiencing, blood when I had a bowel movement, blood in my poop, blood when I was you know, having these standard bodily functions that ultimately resulted in a 5-centimeter sized tumor, a stage 3 rectal cancer diagnosis. I went unseen for my symptoms, and those are the clues that our body is giving us that we need to be seen. The same, I ended up having a family history of polyps. My family didn't realize that was important to talk about, but we want people to be seen for their story, and lastly, for their screening. Seeking test back answers is really a critical part of early intervention and giving people more time, ultimately, to live and thrive. Even with an earlier stage diagnosis, when we catch it, that time changes certainly the outcomes, but also quality of life.
Absolutely. So was it just that you were too busy, you didn't go to the doctor? You didn't take care?
I wish that's what it was. I was in regularly. Ironically, I had 2 more babies during the time that I was having symptoms. The trick was they were intermittent, my symptoms, but then it grew pervasive. It didn't stop. It also increased to having, you know, the size, shape, and texture of my poop changed, and then increased urgency to go to the bathroom. Sometimes people experience nausea due to the blockage. They may also experience abdominal pain. I was severely anemic because of the blood loss. That's another indication, but I was checking every single box that should have prompted an urgent colonoscopy. And I think the challenge is, much like I didn't know, our frontline physicians also are learning at the same time that the face of colorectal cancer has changed to look very different than what has typically been your grandfather's disease.
They were saying, you're too young, you don't have it.
Actually, Dr. may touch on that, the shift we're seeing in when screening is recommended.
I think that's probably the most terrifying thing about this disease right now. This is a cancer that we really only saw in people in their 70s and 80s. And it's just recently that we're starting to see it in people in their 30s, their 40s, and their 50s. Actually, in the last couple decades, we've seen a 3% increase per year in colorectal cancer in people under 50. So we no longer can call it an old person's disease. We as physicians need to be aware that this disease is happening in younger people. We need to be attuned to the symptoms. We can't ignore them. We can't wait for them to go away. And that's something that we are also working on in the medical community, is the physician education.
Why is that, though? Why are we seeing it in younger people? Is there like one specific thing? Is it the diet? Is it the environment? What is it?
And I think that's the billion-dollar question, and a lot of us are doing frantic research to try to understand that. This is a cancer that we're seeing more in all the generations that were born after the 1950s, and we call it a birth cohort effect. Usually when you see effects like that, it's an environmental change, something that we're being exposed to either in our diet, in the things that we use on a daily basis, the foods that we eat, how we prepare our food, how we preserve our food. There's been some data that influences maybe from the microbiome, which is the natural flora of your gut, and also even from ultra-processed foods that might be having a role. So it certainly is something about industrialized civilizations and unfortunately how we've probably made life easy for ourselves.
Wow. Well, it's so important, the work that you're doing with Be Seen, a group that is making sure to spread the word out there, right, to make sure that people get checked out at a younger age.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you both for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. We encourage people also to go to the poop party, right? That's something that we've heard of, party poopers, but the fact that you're open and comfortable in talking about it is so important. So we're going to direct people to, of course, check their symptoms, get your scheduled colonoscopy, receive a free prep kit. Go to beseen.care. That's where you can get all of the information. And we'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that was
Thank you guys so much.
Of info.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot to cover.
Good morning. Welcome to 9 a.m. on this Wednesday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
Brutal pileup crash. This is in Covina, rather. Could be more than just that standard traffic accident. One witness says a husband was trying to kill his wife. What we know at this hour.
Plus, will LAUSD teachers soon hit the picket lines? Details on the announcement expected later today.
And Fox is honoring Women's History Month with a 3-part biblical series called The Faithful Women of the Bible. Natasha Karam stars in it, and I'm going to be sitting down with her to talk about this highly anticipated show right in time for the Easter season. But first, it feels like summer before Easter, Maria.
I know. It's crazy, but it is still officially winter on the calendar, and it has felt nothing but the midst of summer. We've had this heat wave now, and look at this, the latest on satellite and radar pictures. showing you no marine layer, which typically would be our natural air conditioner. So none of that today. Again, temperatures have already warmed up significantly at this hour. 79 degrees in Woodland Hills. It's 75 in downtown LA. Mind you, 70 is the average for the date, so we're going to be well north of that again today. 77 in Ontario, 87 in Palm Springs to that 46 in Big Bear. High temperatures ranging from around 79 in Big Bear today, 95 in the high desert to 106 in the Coachella Valley. Downtown's 96 we're expecting today. Could break another record, and certainly very hot and above average. 102 in the valleys and the Inland Empire to the mid-80s at our coast. I'll show you the rest of the forecast, show you where the heat alerts are in place in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you.
Maria, thank you. Breaking news this morning. Police arrest a man who they say intentionally rammed his estranged wife's car and caused a 5-car crash in Covina.
4 people were injured and taken to hospitals in all this. Let's go out to Mario Ramirez with all the details. Mario?
Sandra, Roxy, and we saw part of this play out here on the scene at this Covina location. We can tell you that it appears to be a domestic dispute, according to police, that led to this 5-vehicle crash. And you can still see some of the aftermath here at the intersection, Hollenbeck and Cypress this morning. Police have been using drones to map out exactly what happened and review footage. Let's take you to this new surveillance footage that we just obtained, capturing the moments of this chaotic crash. A car gets T-boned at the intersection, spinning out of control, and hits at least 3 others waiting at the light here. Investigators say, again, this all stems from a domestic violence situation with the husband chasing his wife at high speeds here in Covina in this neighborhood, and that chase ending with 5 damaged cars and 4 drivers taken to the hospital. Let's now go to a look at the suspect. This is what we saw happening here just before our 8 a.m. live shot. The husband now in custody, video showing him being taken in by Covina police officers after he was arrested near a home across the street about 2 hours later. Police say he was the one chasing his wife leading up to that crash, now facing possible charges in connection to it all. And let's go to this Skyfox video over the scene. Stu was around 6 o'clock this morning showing the wreckage here at the intersection. The overturned black SUV, the wife's vehicle. Witnesses say she was actually trapped in the overturned vehicle as they rushed in to help. 4 drivers, including the wife who was trapped, rushed to the hospital. And for the husband, police started looking for him. He ditched the Mercedes he was in. And again, not too far away, we noticed about 2 hours later, a neighbor trying to flag us down. Take a listen.
I'm just in my bedroom right now, and I hear something on the side of the house. So I checked my video cameras again, and I had already known what he looked like. So I saw that he was right there in my yard. He was still on the loose. So I ran and I yelled to you. So thanks for your assistance, and then you flagged down the officers, and then they got him. So
yeah, and I can tell your heart rate is still going.
It's
gotta be scary.
It was not scary, but it was exciting, I guess, in a bad way.
Yeah, definitely tense moments for quite a few neighbors who were peeking out as they heard the commotion, officers with their guns drawn, and you can see more of that suspect being taken into custody here. Investigators continuing to try and piece together exactly what led up to this domestic-related crash, and I spoke to the suspect's adult children who were at the scene. They say he actually called them after the crash. They tell me the couple's been married for 30 years. They don't know why he may have been chasing her through the streets of Covina early this morning. So back out here live. Again, the investigation continues amid all this wreckage. 5 vehicles involved, 4 people hurt, but the good news in all of this is all of the victims are expected to recover here. The suspect, again, now in custody. That's the latest in Covina this morning. A wild scene here.
Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, when you see that images of what happened, people are so lucky that no one died.
Right.
Unbelievable. Those innocent bystanders just in their cars.
Yeah, it looks like a bomb just blew up right there. It was,
absolutely.
That's awful.
So scary. Thank you, Mario.
All right, Mario, thank you. And happening today, LA Unified school teachers could take a major step towards a possible walkout.
Let's go to Gigi live at the Teachers Union headquarters with more on a big announcement expected this afternoon, Gigi.
That's right. We've been talking to LA Unified School employees, and everybody tells me they don't want to see a strike. They don't want to walk off their job, but they do want a fair labor contract, and they are in negotiations, not only UT-LA, the teachers union, but SEIU Local 99. They represent other employees of the school district, all of them in contract negotiations. And today there will be a big rally, and while UT-LA has not confirmed what announcement, if any, will be made, it it is expected that a strike announcement will officially be announced. Take a look. 94% of its membership, according to UTLA, has voted to approve a strike. There has been, again, no official confirmation, but they are expected to make that announcement at a big rally later today called the Fight for LA. It's a labor rally involving 3 groups scheduled for 4:30 this afternoon and expected to bring together not only school employees but teachers and students along with parents at Grand Park in downtown LA. Rally organizers include 3 major employee unions, UTLA, SEIU Local 99. They represent more than 30,000 employees, including teachers, aides, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and custodians, to name just a few. And the Associated Administrators of Los Angeles, they represent about 3,000 employees, including school principals and managers. All 3 groups say they're locked in stalled contract negotiations with LA Unified. And while they could announce a strike date today, that, of course, doesn't mean they're going to walk off the job. It could lead to an agreement. We spoke to special ed assistants and a member of SEIU Local 99, Yolanda Mims-Reed, earlier this morning, and she says that morale at LA Unified, given everything that's happening, is very low.
I think they're fed up. They've had it. They're ready to take action. They've, over 97% of our unions already voted that they're willing to strike. They're tired. We've been acting and begging for years now, ever since the last strike. We've got nothing.
How would you describe employee morale?
Well, with everything going on, I'm going to say with everything going on, in this world, with our students, with ICE, with districts, everybody's kind of beat up.
Everybody is kind of beat up. Now, in response to the latest district proposal, UTLA's president said in part, LAUSD's latest salary proposal is not enough to fix broken salary schedules. It's not enough to attract educators to LAUSD, and it's nowhere near enough to address the financial struggles educators are facing. Another reason school employees' morale is at an all-time low. Layoff notices reportedly went out to many people. So even those who didn't receive the notice, they're feeling bad for their friends who may end up losing their jobs due to budget cuts. The rally, again, scheduled for 4:30 this afternoon at Grand Park in downtown LA. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
Hi, Gigi. Thank you. Also breaking this morning, civil rights leader Dolores Huerta is accusing labor leader and fellow civil rights activist Cesar Chavez of sexual assault.
In an Instagram post this morning, Huerta says in part, quote, I am nearly 96 years old, and for the last 60 years, I've kept a secret because I believe that exposing the truth would hurt the farm worker movement I have spent my entire life fighting for. As a young mother in the 1960s, I experienced 2 separate sexual encounters with Cesar. The first time, I was manipulated and pressured into having sex with him, and I didn't feel I could say no because he was someone that I admired. The second time, I was forced against my will and in an environment where I felt trapped.
Earlier this week, the United Farm Workers Union said it'll be pulling back from Cesar Chavez Day events after abuse allegations surfaced against him. Chavez died in 1993. He was a labor organizer who co-founded the UFW in the early 1960s. The Cesar Chavez Foundation says it recently became aware of allegations that he engaged in inappropriate sexual behavior with women and minors while president of the UFW. In a statement, the union said allegations that very young women or girls may have been victimized are crushing. In light of the allegations, some Chavez Day marches in other cities have been canceled, but one planned this Sunday in Los Angeles is still scheduled to go on. The organizers spoke to Fox 11 last night.
The allegations being made have to be at least 60 years old, maybe 70. For the people here, we are dealing with real issues affecting the community. At least for the march we're having on the 22nd, we're asking for amnesty now.
Meanwhile, the UFW says it doesn't have any firsthand knowledge of the allegations, but says it is working to set up a confidential channel for any victims to come forward.
Now to the latest on the war with Iran, now in its 19th day. Iran state media television confirming that the intelligence minister was killed on Tuesday, taken out by a precision Israeli airstrike. He was responsible for overseeing Iran's entire global terror apparatus, including sleeper cells in locations around the world. It's the latest in a string of Israeli airstrikes that have killed senior leaders, including Iran's top security chief and a leader of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard.
Here are the other headlines coming out of the war. An Iranian missile struck an apartment building in central Israel today, killing 2 people. Officials identified the victims as a couple in their 70s.
President Trump dropped his push for U.S. allies to help protect the Strait of Hormuz from Iranian threats. This comes just one day after he called on other nations to get involved.
And the Trump administration is temporarily pausing a maritime law that restricts the way oil is shipped within the United States. The change would allow foreign owners, foreign-owned, that is, and operated tankers to move between ports, according to AAA. Gas prices have risen more than 27% since the start of this war. 9:12, still to come, it is Women History Month, and Fox is bringing us the stories of the women of the Bible with the faithful. One of the show's stars is joining Amanda right after the break. But first, to check on traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. We're going to zoom in into one of our live traffic cameras, which is on the busier side here. This is the 91, sorry. The 91 freeway at Maple Street, and this is the westbound side. You can see that it's quite slow there right now. Drive times in and out of downtown LA also kind of slow, especially that westbound 10 between the 5 the 405 going towards Santa Monica. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
Welcome back to Good Day LA. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. For the next 3 Sundays, Fox will be airing The Faithful Women of the Bible. Natasha Karam stars in the new biblical series that will depict the book of Genesis through the eyes of the book's most well-known women. And part 1 airs this Sunday.
I want to keep the baby. We have an agreement. You can't just change your mind, I know. And I'm sorry. I know what I made my mark to. I just didn't know I was going to feel this way when I made it. What about going home to your family? I want to, of course I do, but not if it means leaving my baby behind. It's not your baby.
And we are welcoming Natasha live with us in studio. Your hair, everything, you look gorgeous. I have to tell you, even though I went to Catholic school, I did not know how much drama was in some of these stories that we are going to be seeing for the next 3 Sundays.
Yeah, they're very juicy. I think our goal here was to tell these stories in like a deeply intimate and immediate way, and really human, and not have it be sort of symbolic and distant, which is what it has felt for so long. And I think that the idea is to center the women in these stories who have so often become footnotes in their own stories. And so to have this space where it's like, no, you are going to centralize the women. It allows for a deeper understanding of the messages and more empathy, and
absolutely
I'm excited for people to see it.
What was the one thing you learned that really stayed with you about Hagar?
Honestly, I didn't really know her story at all. Everyone sort of knows Sarah and Abraham. And then she's forgotten about. And for me, it's like those are the characters I'm always drawn to. These women that are sort of marginalized or dismissed, or and to get the opportunity to play these characters and sort of shift the focus to women who are often just totally forgotten about. So I learned everything about her story, essentially. So
wow, that's great. I cannot wait to watch this. I mean, and working with Minnie Driver.
Legend.
And when I got to talk to her, which the interview is coming soon for that, she's so like down to earth, and you feel like you've known her for so long. And I mean, you guys were shooting in Rome. So, I mean, home away from home, Rome away from home, and you're there together. I mean, what was some behind the scenes moments that you have as your memories?
Minnie was staying in like a gorgeous hotel, and she speaks quite good Italian. So we were able to like get around with Minnie speaking her Italian, and I was in Rome I got to bring my best friend, my dog, Cleopatra. And so her and I were in matching outfits pretty much the whole of the trip in Rome. And Minnie loved it and celebrated it. And so me, her, and Cleo would go around together. And we went to her hotel, which was stunning. And I remember sitting in this gorgeous atrium in Rome and being like, is this real? Am I really just having, you know, a little pasta with Minnie Driver? And
I love it.
She was such a supportive and caring actress. And like, I think she's so generous. There were some scenes that were really challenging content material in this show, and working with Minnie was just, it felt supportive and comforting, and like I had like a sister looking out for me. So
I love that, especially because the series is not only obviously in celebration of the Easter season, but also it's Women's History Month. And so did you ever get a chance to meet the women in this industry that you looked up to, that kind of paved the path for you? I remember I had a moment where I got to say thank you to Rita Moreno for me.
Wow.
And that was a memory, a moment I will keep with me forever. Have you had that moment yet in your industry, your field?
I don't think I've had, like, I have small moments like that consistently where like women who I'm just in awe of are getting closer and closer to my sort of circle of people. And it's like, wow, these people that I used to watch on TV, like Minnie, like Gina Torres, who I worked with on 911, like I can't believe that these people are now my friends and like, hang out at my house, and I have so much to learn from. I mean, the women that I'm drawn to are like strong women.
I love
like
that.
Minnie, like Gina, like, and so yeah, I do get to learn a lot from them and their wisdom and the paths that they've had to walk before me. And
I love that. Well, game recognizes game. That's what I always like to say. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
You for having me.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to miss it. The big 3-part series, The Faithful Women of the Bible. That's right, the women. Women's History Month begins this Sunday on Fox, and the next day it will stream on Hulu. Natasha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Women's History Month.
Thank you. Right back at you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. Good Day LA weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casinos. We've got a lot of sunshine already outside. I know it's hard to tell there with our camera pointed at LAX. The traffic, ooh, those guys. Hopefully they all have air conditioning because the temperatures are going to be hot again today. Record-breaking territory. And yesterday we broke so many records. I can't fit them all on this one page. So these are just a handful of the cities that broke yesterday's record high temperatures. Woodland Hills 101, Anaheim 100. Long Beach 99, downtown LA 98 degrees yesterday to that 92 at LAX, which is closer to the coast and it's generally not that hot there. In fact, yesterday's 99 in Long Beach was the all-time high temperature ever in March. That beat the old record of 98 degrees. So yeah, more of that today. High pressure is in control of our weather, and that has been anchored across the southwest, keeping that storm track and that cooler air mass well to our north up into the Pacific Northwest. So this will continue to give us that offshore flow. Nothing too gusty, some breezy occasionally below those canyons and passes, those conditions. Otherwise, though, just 20 to 30 plus degrees above average in terms of our daytime highs again today. So we do have those heat alerts in place through at least Friday, and I wouldn't be surprised if that gets extended into Saturday as well. Extreme heat warnings for all the areas shaded in that pink color to heat advisories elsewhere. When is it going to break? Not in the next several days, not in the next 7 to 10 days at least anyway. It looks like well above average high temperatures will continue across, especially the desert southwest. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. So you have to act fast. You have until tonight at midnight to register for a chance to buy tickets to the 2028 Olympics. Just go to LA28.org. And that leads us to our poll question of the day. Are you interested in LA 2028? Here are the results. I know you guys are going to be interested as we get closer, I hope, because 74% saying not my thing right now. Come on.
It went up, Sandra.
Oh my gosh, it really did.
Happening? It was 58.
Wait, let me vote. Okay, mine is yes, hoping for tickets.
You can only vote once. We do have a hookup for you for today. It's 4 tickets and a pit party pass to the Monster Jam at SoFi Stadium April 11th. Enter for a chance to win on our website at foxla.com/contest or link through the QR code on the screen. One winner will be selected Thursday. Good luck.
And don't forget, tonight it's going down between the Anaheim Ducks and the Philadelphia Flyers. The game is at 7 o'clock this evening on Fox 11 Plus KCOP, where we will televise all Duck games throughout the season. We'll be right back.
everyone. Welcome to 9:30 on this Wednesday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Another top Iranian official killed by an Israeli airstrike overnight. What we're learning this morning as President Trump calls out NATO allies.
Plus, a controversial decision in Monrovia after a bear involved in attacks is euthanized. How the community is responding.
With record high temperatures, this dangerous heat wave is sticking with us for the next few days. And Maria's got you covered with what you need to know.
Yeah, at least through Friday with those very hot temperatures. So I want you to stay heat safe. Make sure you try to limit any activity outdoors, most definitely. Right now, it's already warmed up to 74 degrees downtown LA. Not too much of a wind or breeze to kind of help cool you down a little bit, right? We've got the offshore flow, but it's not the windy kind. It's just enough of a northeasterly wind that it just really helps to warm up the air temperatures. And look at this. Every single month, every single day, rather, this month, we have been above average high. Yesterday, 98 degrees for downtown LA. That was actually a record high temperature. Here is the almanac for today, the average being 70 degrees. The old record for today is 87, so we are going to surpass that. We're going to crush that, actually, with that 96 expected. Our sun will set at 7:03 later this evening. Here are the high temperatures today. 102 in Woodland Hills. Yet again, perhaps another record today. 98 in Santa Clarita, 96 downtown, 91 in Long Beach, to that 106 in Palm Springs today. I'll send it back to you, too.
All right, Maria, thank you. We do have breaking news in the San Gabriel Valley this morning. Several cars involved in a dangerous collision, all because of a domestic dispute.
Mario is joining us right now from the scene in Covina. This is just one of those wild, bizarre stories.
Yeah, playing out this morning here on the streets of Covina. In a matter of a few hours, we saw this crash, the aftermath, the suspect being arrested, neighbors coming out, trying to flag us down to help. Now, you can see here behind me at the intersection where it happened, the tow trucks were in place. And look at all that damage, the wreckage here. We did confirm with Covina police that this started with a husband and wife, a domestic dispute. It turned into a high-speed chase and then ended with this. Now, take a look. New surveillance video shows the moment this chaotic crash happens. One car is T-boned in the intersection. It spins out of control and then slams into at least 3 other vehicles stopped at the light. Investigators say it all started with a domestic incident with a husband chasing his wife in a separate vehicle, and that chase ended with 5 damaged cars and 4 people taken to the hospital. And let's go to a look at the suspect, who is now under arrest, the husband there. Video showing Covina police officers taking him into custody after he was found near a home across the street about 2 hours after the crash. Police say he was the one chasing his wife before it all happened, and now he could face several charges connected to this case. Meanwhile, Sky Fox was the first over the scene here just before 6 o'clock this morning, showing the extensive damage at Hollenbeck and Cypress. Police say the husband ran from the scene after the crash, leaving his black Mercedes behind. The overturned black SUV was being driven by the wife, and witnesses say she was trapped inside as bystanders rushed over to help. Take a listen.
The car that was flipped over, somebody kept on yelling help. So everybody was able to helped her out, and we were trying to get that door open. We couldn't. Finally, some other lady jumped in through the back seat and kind of guided her out through the back seat, and we were able to get her out that way. But she was just screaming the whole time that her husband was trying to kill her, and that he was after her. He was chasing her in another car. I think it was a black Mercedes. I'm not sure.
What was her condition like when you were helping her out?
Oh, she was pretty bad. We couldn't get her out. It took us a long time. Then the firemen came in. I think they removed that one door on the other side and got her out that way.
And back out here live, you can see that black Mercedes there in the middle of the road. Now, what we can tell you is that those 4 drivers, including the suspect's wife, taken to the hospital, but they all are expected to survive. Meanwhile, there was a neighbor who helped flag down police early this morning. The suspect had been hiding out in his yard, and coming up at 10 o'clock in the next 20 minutes or so, we'll hear from that neighbor how he describes all of this playing out, part of it in his yard. Live here in Covina, I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much, Mario. So fortunate that no one got seriously hurt or killed in all of that. Iran vowing decisive revenge this morning after Israeli strikes killed 3 of its top officials, one of them considered by many to be the de facto leader of Iran. Strikes continued overnight. Israeli missiles hit Lebanon's capital, Beirut. Meanwhile, the U.S. military did fire thousands of bunker buster bombs to take out Iranian missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz. The mission was launched to reopen the vital shipping lane. President Trump blasted NATO allies again Tuesday for refusing to help.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake. This was a great test because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
This comes as director of the National Counterterrorism Center resigns. Joe Kent saying that he cannot in good consciousness back the war in Iran. Here is what the president had to say on that.
I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
So Fox News is reporting Kent was not involved in the briefings about Iran. Meanwhile, President Trump's trip to China officially now delayed due to this conflict.
And let's talk about some of the other headlines coming out of the war right now. Trump administration officials will be questioned today on Capitol Hill about the president's reasons for the strikes on Iran and what his goal and plans are going forward.
Iran negotiating to move Iran's World Cup matches from the U.S. to Mexico. Iran was scheduled to play all of its matches here in the U.S. with 2 games at SoFi Stadium before saying last week it cannot participate in the tournament because of security concerns.
And 5 members of Iran's national women's soccer team who dropped their bids for Australian asylum have returned home. Human rights activists say they may have been pressured to reverse their decisions, though through threats against their families.
We're going to move on to Cuba now, whose president is vowing to push back on any aggression by the United States.
In a strongly worded message posted on X today, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel expressing external aggressions with, quote, unyielding resistance. This comes after President Trump floated the idea of taking over Cuba. The country's president, now writing the U.S., has launched a fierce economic war against its people, blaming worsening conditions like the current power outage on American officials for imposing an oil blockade on Cuba in January. Energy officials say partial power has been restored after Cuba's experienced its 3rd nationwide blackout in just 4 months. U.S. and Cuban officials are discussing a solution, but the Trump administration says no meaningful progress can be made until Cuba's president is removed from power.
Embargo's tied to political change on the island, so they're in a lot of trouble. And the people in charge, they don't know how to fix it, and so they have to get new people in charge.
There is no electricity, no food, no oil, no fuel, and private businesses have high prices because everything is going up now.
It is still unclear what caused the power grid to collapse. Meanwhile, President Trump says America may focus on Cuba after the Iran war.
Back here locally happening today, Eaton fire survivors will get help spotting scams tied to recovery efforts. Fraud prevention workshop in Altadena will help older adults recognize fake contractors, FEMA imposters, and insurance scams. Experts will also share how to protect your information and quickly report fraud to authorities. The event starts at 10 a.m. It is free, and the community hub known as the Collaboratory, which is located on Woodbury Road in Altadena. You can register. You got to go to sdscf.org, sdscf.org.
People struggling to pay rent are getting some help now. The LA County Board of Supervisors is raising the unpaid rent eviction threshold in unincorporated communities. Under the new rules, tenants in those areas must miss 2 months of rent before the eviction process for non-payment can begin. It was previously just 1 month. The ordinance impacts about 1 million residents, and it goes into effect in 30 days.
Local wildlife officials have made the tough decision to euthanize a bear following a weekend attack in Monrovia.
Coco McAvoy joining us now live in that neighborhood to explain. Hi there, Coco.
Good morning. This story has garnered a lot of attention, a lot of outrage as well from residents who say the bear was well known, and they're really upset about the euthanasia and the fact that her cubs are now orphaned as well. But this comes after 2 different attacks. State officials decided to make that decision. But take a look here at this video here. As I mentioned, the mother bear had 2 cubs. City officials wanted the bear and her cubs to be relocated to the Angeles National Forest, but the Monrovia City manager says he got a call from the California Fish and Wildlife Department saying the mother bear had already been euthanized. That decision was made after the bear charged at a woman and swiped at her while she was walking her dog Saturday. Prior to that incident, officials say they determined the same bear was involved in another swiping incident with an elderly man sitting on his porch last year. In recent years, the LA Times reports there's been an uptick in bears wandering into foothill neighborhoods, and neighbors in the area are well aware.
I know you're supposed to be loud. I carry a whistle all the time just in case. And then I've heard that there was something else. I can't remember. Oh, be tall, be big.
And state officials say those 2 cubs will eventually be released into the wild. Reporting live this morning, I'm Coco McAvoy. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Coco, thank you. New this morning, Amazon plans to drastically cut the number of packages shipped through U.S. Postal Service. Reports indicate Amazon wants to drop its postal volume at least 2/3 by October, when its current contract with the agency expires. But the move could cost the already struggling agency, which has operated at large losses for most of the past 2 decades. During a heated hearing yesterday, the Postmaster General told lawmakers that if USPS can't borrow more money, the agency won't be able to pay its workers or delivery bills by next year. USPS delivered more than 1 billion packages for Amazon last year.
Team USA put up a tough fight in the World Baseball Classic with an intense matchup from start to finish.
Oh, this was a heartbreaker. It was Venezuela that ultimately made history. Take a look.
Into left center field, headed for the gap, and Venezuela has retaken the lead. Venezuela, the best in baseball.
Gosh, that strikeout.
Venezuela beat the U.S. 3-2, winning its first World Baseball Classic title. After the final out, the players ran onto the field in celebration, some crying, some praying, so many of them overcome with emotion.
Our country right now, they're gonna celebrate for about a week. This is for our country, this is para nuestro país. Gracias a toda la gente de Miami aquí también presente. What can I say about this? It's amazing. God is good. All the glory is for Lord Jesus. He was with us the whole time. We have to glorify, put his name in front of everything. And nobody believed in Venezuela, but now we win the championship today. And it's a celebration for all the Venezuelan country.
Ultimately, it's who gets hot at the right time, who gets a big swing. It just seemed like we couldn't get the offense going the entire tournament.
With the loss, USA finished as runner-up for the second tournament in a row. The next WBC will be held in 2030.
So happy for Venezuela, obviously, but it's crushing for U.S. We watched it, and such a heartbreak.
That's how it goes.
That's how baseball goes, in any sport too, right? All right, well, Tom Brady will be back on the football field this weekend in L.A. on Saturday. The Fanatics Flag Football Classic is happening at BMO Stadium.
5-on-5 flag football with plenty of star power. We talked to Tom about getting back on the field at age 48.
I love our quarterback play. We've got some really elite quarterbacks playing, a bunch of Heisman Trophy winners. I love to beat those guys, so I'm happy they're on the other side of the ball, Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow. And, I'm a little older now, but I still plan on going out there and kicking some butt.
The Fanatics Flag Football Classic is this Saturday at BMO Stadium. We'll carry it here on Fox 11 starting at 1 p.m.
All right, college basketball fans, March Madness just got a little crazier. The betting app Kalshi is offering $1 billion for a perfect NCAA bracket. Kalshi says it's all about showing how probability works in different scenarios. In case you're wondering, there's never been a verified perfect bracket, and the odds are astronomical. Well, we're talking about 1 in 9 quintillion. That is a 9. Followed by 18 zeros. Okay, visualize that. If no one nails every single game, the top bracket wins $1 million, and another $2 million goes to charity. The contest is free to enter. You can check out Kalshi's app or website. Good luck.
Okay, well, coming up, spring is almost here, and Nurse Nancy is back in studio with us to talk about skincare adjustments that will keep you glowing.
Plus, the biggest mistake people make to their routine when the season shifts.
Thinking of heading to the beach? Be careful where you swim because of the heat. High bacteria warnings have been issued for several local beaches. So you want to take a look at this list right here. LA County health officials warning against entering the water at these locations: Will Rogers State Beach, Santa Monica Pier, Puerco Beach, Escondido State Beach, Topanga Canyon Beach, and Malibu Lagoon at Surfrider Beach.
And you know, a lot of people are going to want to go to the beach again because of the heat, really hot temperatures. Even within a mile of the beach, it is going to be quite warm. On the sand, upper 70s to low 80s, so that's comfortable. I mean, comparatively speaking to the rest of SoCal. Surf heights 2 to 4 feet, so just keep that in mind with the moderate rip current risk in the water. Always swim or paddle out near a lifeguard. And here's why it's been so hot. This area of high pressure, this dome of high pressure has just been anchored across the southwest, keeping that storm track well to our north and away from us into the Pacific Northwest. And it doesn't look like it's not gonna budge, not for the next few days anyway. So some people by the beach maybe don't have any air conditioning, so here's some easy hacks you can do to stay cool. First and foremost, close your blinds during the day because that'll keep that heat outside, not inside the house. And a lot of people forget to do this, but check your ceiling fan to make sure that it is turning counterclockwise. That helps to push that air down, and you'll be able to feel that breeze and feel that cooling. And I always like to say, put your lotion, your face cream, your moisturizer. I'm sure Nurse Nancy's going to talk about that too. Keep that in the fridge, and that'll actually feel good, and that will help cool you down when you get ready in the day. Here is our 7-day forecast. Speaking of the coast, 84 today, cooling down to around 76 on Sunday. So you start to notice that slight cool down by the latter part of this weekend. 96 degrees in downtown LA today, down to around 88. So back down to the 80s by Sunday into next week, which, by the way, still above average, but at least not as hot, right, as it has been. 102 in the valleys and the Inland Empire, potentially a record high. 79 up into Big Bear, getting down to the low 70s next week, so that'll be nice. 95 in the high desert areas, and officially we will welcome spring on Friday here in the Northern Hemisphere, although it's not feeling like it. 106 in the Coachella Valley in Palm Springs today. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. If your skin has the winter blues, you don't need to do a full product reset. Just a few smart swaps to spring clean your routine.
That's right. Yes. Nurse Nancy with us. Woo! Seasonal skincare advice to help you transition from winter to spring. Good to see you.
Look at your business card.
You're glowing. I know. The face card.
I'll have what she's having.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's talk about
take care of my
spring.
skin.
We know. We see it.
Really?
How do seasonal changes really impact and affect the skin?
Well, the skin actually acts the same all year long, right? So it doesn't really change. We still have the skin cell turnover, but we have different conditions. Okay. So when it's cold out, when it's low humidity, then our skin loses its water, it loses its sebum.
Its
so we
color,
have
too.
it loses its color. And so we have to put on heavier emollients on our skin, and then when the spring is here, then our sebum starts working again, the humidity's a little bit up, so we can lighten up our skincare. Okay. So we go from heavy to light.
I like that.
Yeah. So what does that mean if we have all our products on the counter? What should we be doing?
Yes. Well, what you want to do when you spring clean, and I did it this weekend just in preparation for this.
Oh, I love it.
I know. And what happens is we accumulate lots of product. We want to get rid of the product that we're not using, but what I'm going to suggest is that if you don't want to use it on your face, neck, and neck, why don't you use it on your arms, your legs,
and neck.
Don't.
Why have I been trying to say décolletage all these years? Just say neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
Genius.
So put it on your arms, put it on your legs.
Okay.
Don't waste it, right? Unless it's gone bad. Antioxidants, the vitamin C and all the things that fight free radical damage, that can go bad. So we want to use our products every day. That's how they work the best. Right. But if they turn a little brown, then we got to get rid of them because they're not effective.
What
anymore.
timeline, like about if you haven't used your products in the 6 months, 9 months, a year?
Yeah, they'll say on the product line, but over a year, like number one, you shouldn't be using it over a year. It should go every few months. It should be gone.
Right.
It should be gone. Right.
True.
Right. Because every time, especially if you have a jar or if you don't have an airless container, it's going to get some air to it and it's going to degrade it.
Put on your legs. I like that. Don't waste it. Put on your legs.
Don't waste it, because we always get like little free samples and
put on your legs.
Yeah. All right. How about what we should? Yeah.
Okay. How about know what we should like put. We know how we put our jackets away, our boots away. What skin products should we be putting away with all the winter clothes?
Well, not your sunscreen.
Yeah, that's right.
So people really slack off on their sunscreen, but you know, spring is a time to recommit yourself to sunscreen. The UVA is out, the UVB is out. It goes down a little bit during winter, but you have to recommit to that, and then maybe put away your heavy creams, right? Go to the lighter stuff. It just depends on what your skin likes and what feels good.
And you have to reapply your sunscreen, right?
You sure do.
Yeah.
The thing is, you sure do, girlfriend, because I know you're out on the field all the time.
All the time, but it's hard if you have makeup on.
Is that spray effective, like the sunscreen spray?
Spray's effective, yeah.
Hats are effective.
Hats are, you want a 6-inch brim. So you gotta look kind of like a nerd.
And sunglasses.
Oh, I wear the biggest hats. Sunglasses, but you have to reapply. And so when people have makeup on, there's Color Science I love that has a powder, you know, and a brush, and you can reapply with that. I really like that one.
Supergoop has that.
Supergoop has it too. Yeah.
But they also have the sunscreen spray for makeup. No, that's the one I meant.
Right. As long as it has an SPF rating, that means it's gone through all the proper processes to make sure that it works. And you want at least a 30.
Okay,
at least a 30.
So our age.
Yeah.
We want our age.
We want our age.
There we go.
If someone wants to ditch their winter skin for spring glow, right? What's the best place to do that, especially when you're on a budget? Where do you start?
So over the winter, you know, we kind of accumulate dead skin cells, right? So we want to exfoliate. I think that's the easiest way to get that glow again. So the easiest, cheapest way is to get a washcloth when you're washing your face. You can get a scrub as long as it's really gentle. You have to be gentle when it comes to exfoliation. You only want to do it a couple times a week, right? So you can do an acid, you can do a peel, you know, no downtime peel. Or you can do a scrub. You can go into my office. They're bigger, you know, you'll peel, but you can do at-home chemical peels. That's the best way to get a nice glow and to make sure you're nice and hydrated. Hydrated skin is glowing skin.
Okay, so from within, right?
Yes.
You gotta glow from within.
Yes.
What about, as you were mentioning, exfoliation and stuff, for spring, retinoids?
Yeah.
Can you still use them in the same way as in winter?
Yes, I think you can. I don't like retinoids that are irritating to your skin. I want you to use a retinoid that you can use every single day, and as long as you're wearing your sunscreen, you can wear it. I know in the past we've told, you know, people have told you take a break during the winter. No, it's the best anti-aging ingredient out there. So find a gentle one, you know, that you can use every single day, because consistency is key. If you're off and on because it's causing irritation and inflammation, it's not going to work for you. Plus it's doing damage because inflammation is aging. So we don't want that either. So retinoids are your friend.
Yeah, inflammation is puffy, damaging. We don't like that.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Your skin looks so fabulous. In fact, hold on, Margot Robbie's on the phone. She wants to know if you'll play her sister in the sequel to Barbie.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, look,
thank you so much.
Can we get it? Just look at this.
It's because she doesn't let the sun touch her face.
And she has a daughter in college.
I do. She's coming home Thursday.
Oh my gosh, you look better and better every time. I'll have whatever you're having.
Oh my gosh.
Nurse Nancy, we love you. Thank you. You can shop for medical grade products at therootbeauty.com. Also find it where?
Ulta,
Nordstrom,
The Root Beauty.
Yes, love it.
Sunny Eyes,
Golden Rule.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
I love you guys.
Welcome to 10 a.m. on this Wednesday morning, and here's some of the stories we're covering for you.
In Covina, a domestic dispute, according to police, turns into a chase, high speeds, and ends in a 5-car crash here at this intersection. The video just ahead, and what police say may have started it all.
And a decision that could affect up to 600,000 students in Los Angeles. Will union school teachers go on strike? We'll have that and more coming up.
And yes, the heat is on. We still have the extreme heat wave with us at least through Friday. Talking about 90s and plenty of triple digits. So cooler weather, when is it coming? Maybe Sunday, cooler weather. I'll go over all the details and how cool it will totally get coming up. My complete forecast.
Thank you so much, Maria. Breaking news in the San Gabriel Valley this morning. Police say a domestic dispute resulted in a man intentionally T-boning his wife's car at a Covina intersection.
The crash took out several other cars as well, injuring 4 people in all. And Mario is at the scene with all the details, including how you helped the situation. Mario?
Yeah, Sandra, Roxia, police say this is actually a Covina, a local couple, a husband and wife, and they say the husband was at high speeds chasing his wife here through this intersection. You can see the vehicles involved being loaded up onto that tow truck, and that vehicle right now in the back of the tow truck, they say that's where the wife was behind the wheel and the husband now behind bars. Let's go to that new surveillance video capturing the early morning crash. The car getting T-boned at the intersection, spinning out of control and hitting at least 3 others waiting at the light. It all happened in an instant. Investigators say this stems from a domestic violence situation that ultimately turned into a high-speed chase here in Covina, ending with 5 damaged cars and 4 drivers taken to the hospital. And we want to show you a look at the suspect, the husband, now in custody. Video showing him being taken in by Covina police officers after he was arrested near a home right across the street. Police say he was the one chasing his wife leading up to that crash, now facing possible charges in connection to the case. And we saw Sky Fox over the scene around 6 o'clock this morning. He was Stu in Sky Fox showing us the wreckage at Hollenbeck and Cypress, the overturned black SUV, again the wife's vehicle. Witnesses say she was trapped in the overturned SUV, that wreckage, as they rushed in to try and help. And as for the husband, who was seen ditching the Mercedes he was driving and running from the scene, well, he was spotted by a neighbor who we noticed was flagging us down this morning.
I'm just in my bedroom right now, and I hear something on the side of the house. So I checked my video cameras again, and I had already known what he looked like. So I saw that he was right there in my yard. He was still on the loose. So I ran and I yelled to you. So thanks for your assistance, and then you flagged down the officers, and then they got him. So
yeah, and I can tell your heart rate is still going.
I was
gotta be scary.
It was not scary, but it was exciting, I guess, in a bad way.
Yeah, good work to Ben keeping a lookout here as that situation was unfolding, and you can see more of that suspect being taken into custody here as investigators continue to piece together exactly what led up to this domestic-related crash. Those details still unknown, but back out here live again. 5 vehicles involved in the crash, 4 people taken to the hospital, including the wife who is reportedly being chased by the husband, and all are expected to survive. For now, live in Covina this morning, I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
Just a wild situation. All right, Mario, thank you. Happening today, LA Unified School teachers could take a major step towards a possible walkout.
Gigi Graciet is live at the Teachers Union headquarters with more on a big announcement expected this afternoon. Gigi.
Roxy and Sandra, good morning. Good morning, everyone. The last time we saw teachers walk off the job in Los Angeles was in 2019. That strike lasted 6 days. And as you mentioned, an announcement that another strike is set to happen could be made today. Take a look. According to UTLA, they represent the teachers at LA Unified School District. 94% of their membership has authorized a strike, and that announcement could come today during the Fight for LA labor rally, which involves 3 groups and is scheduled for 4:30 this afternoon at Grand Park in downtown Los Angeles. Rally organizers include 3 major employee unions, UTLA, SEIU, Local 99. They represent more than 30,000 employees, including teachers' aides, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and custodians, to name just a few, and the Associated Administrators of Los Angeles. They represent about 3,000 employees, including school principals and managers. All 3 groups say their locked and stalled contract contract negotiations with LA Unified. And while they could announce the strike date today, that of course doesn't necessarily mean they'll end up walking off the job. That could actually prompt a settlement on the contract. Earlier, we spoke to labor strategist Stephanie Alston. She says a strike date announcement could send a strong signal to the school board.
I think at the end of the day, the union does want to be able to negotiate with the school board, but they want to let you know that, hey, if we have to strike, we have no problem doing so.
How important is a strike announcement when you're negotiating a new contract?
I think it lets you know that the time is running out and we're willing to do whatever we need to do in order to support workers. I think it is a great negotiation strategy.
Now, in response to the last district proposal, UTLA's president said in part LAUSD's latest salary proposal is not enough to fix broken salary schedules. It's not enough to attract educators to LAUSD, and it's nowhere near enough to address the financial struggles educators are facing. Again, that announcement could come later today. The rally set for 4:30 this afternoon at Grand Park in downtown Los Angeles. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, we'll see what happens this afternoon. Thank you so much, Gigi. Also breaking this morning, civil rights leader Dolores Huerta accusing labor leader and fellow civil rights activist Cesar Chavez of sexual assault.
In an Instagram post this morning,